This is Andy Purewal for ID Boxing. I'm joined by Michael Conlan over Zoom. Michael, firstly, how are you doing?
I'm good, mate. Good. Just chilling out, enjoying Christmas.
I'm glad to hear it. And obviously, you had a very brief stint in the ring on Saturday night, a first round KO victory. Must have
Yeah,
felt nice to get in and out so quickly.
yeah. It's not like me to get a quick one like that. So, I was happy to get it done and just, I was actually early in the arena before 12 o'clock for the first time in my life.
Just talk to me, reflect on what you can from the fight, Michael. What did you make of your was it 2 minutes and 40 seconds or something like that in the ring?
Yeah, it was good. I threw some shots. I could see he was very cautious at the start. I think the atmosphere scared him a little bit too. Um, but some of the shots that was landing, even on the gloves, I could see his reaction. And then, I threw that. I thought it was a body shot, which they'd done him with. But actually, when you watch it back, or Jimmy's actually put a clip up, you can see it's a head shot because he stumbles back, and I was like, this guy's he's trying to play me a little bit here and landed me. So, once I threw that long body shot twice, and the third time I threw it, he must have thought I was going to go to head, so he dipped, but he dipped into the punch. Obviously stumbled back, and then I just unleashed and got him out of there. So yeah, it was good. It was a quick one, so there's not much to say or talk about on it really.
Obviously there isn't much to touch on as you say there, but getting the job done nice and early must be a nice feeling knowing heading into next year, depending on what your plans are. But looking at you now, obviously no cuts, no bruises, no marks. You can look to
Yeah,
try and get out as quickly as you can.
yeah. Well, hopefully back out again March. Hopefully in a big fight, and that's the plan. That's the talks are going on at the minute. So hoping everything goes the plan we want, and we'll be back again March.
Now I don't know what that plan is, but obviously we've seen whilst you was fighting over here in England, we also saw Josh Warrington lose his IBF title to Luis Alberto Lopez. And before we come on to the link between yourselves, have you watched Lopez's victory against Warrington?
No, no, I haven't watched it yet. After a fight, I don't like to kind of get caught up in boxing too much. I like to kind of take a step back and not think about it too much because if I was to start focusing on that, then my focus goes to that instead of spending time enjoying my family over Christmas. So I've watched Lopez before. I really rate him. I think I was one of the few people who were saying that I think he wins. A lot of people who I spoke to were thinking Josh was going to win, especially because he was in lead. I said if it went to points, I probably think Josh will get it just because of scoring in the UK. It's never the best, so yeah, I was thinking that was going to be the problem, but obviously done enough and got the decision. So I rate him as a fighter. I think he's very good, very explosive, and I expect that's how he was against Josh.
It was very awkward, but it was a different style to Josh. Obviously, you'll know yourself with Josh. We've been used to seeing him aggressive, come forward with his head down and try and throw his punches in bunches. We never really saw that. We saw it in spurts, but
Yeah.
Lopez was very awkward. And I mean, me trying to explain this fight to you, there was quite a few times where Lopez complained through the fight. So it was an early head clash. So Lopez had a cut on the nose, I believe it was in the second or third round, which kind of I think gave him an excuse almost to complain to the ref on a few different occasions over little shots to kind of the back of the leg and what have you.
Yeah, well, he's very unorthodox. And how he fights, he switch hits at times, and how he fights in the springs and stuff. There's always going to be head clashes, especially when Josh is fighting. There always seems to be a head clash. So with a stay like that, you're going to probably get tenfold what you usually get. So yeah, I heard that. I read comments on that where he was complaining a lot, but he played the game, man, and that's boxing. Sometimes these guys act and make a meal of little small things, but it probably helps them in the long run.
Now I know you said you like to switch off as soon as you fight so you can focus on time with the family, your friends, and not get too caught up in the boxing world. But with that in mind, do you anticipate you will at some point watch that fight?
100%. Yeah, I have to. I have to watch that fight. That's a potential opponent. Obviously, us both being top rank. That not being a mandatory fight, so there's no rematch clause involved. It's a very easy fight to make. One that I'm very keen for. And he tagged me under the zones thing today. Who do you want to see next? And he wrote, "I'm healing up. Stay ready," and tagged me. I was like, "Okay, great, fantastic. You're telling me we're fighting. This is good. This is good news." So, yeah, I hope so.
Now, that's obviously the point I wanted to touch on. Obviously, reports after Josh's loss came out that there's potential talks in place between yourself and Luis Alberto Lopez's teams to try and get a fight over the line, as you mentioned, both of you with Top Rank. Can you elaborate any more as to how far or deep those talks, if at all, have been so far?
I'm not too sure. Jamie is the man does all the talking. He's the manager and he controls how things go. But I know he's been talking a lot already. And it seems very possible, very likely. So, fingers crossed. With uh Lopez, hopefully he's not too beat up after the fight against Warrington. So that's all we need to know.
You mentioned the awkward style as well, and we spoke about it of Lopez. For yourself, Mick, if you get that one over the line, how would you look to negate what Lopez brings to the fight?
I think I don't need to say much on that. I think I know what I got to do. And I know the stay which beats him. And that's the thing. I think I have the answers for what he has. Listen, he's a fantastic champion, and to go into the backyard of Josh Warrington in that cauldron, which is Leeds, and rip the title from him is a fantastic achievement. And I've been watching Luis Alberto Lopez for the last while, and seeing the upsets he has been pulling off. Against Andi Vengeance, against Gabriel, the top ranked youngest ever signing kid. Gabriel Flores. Yeah, I've seen him, and I do rate him. So it's a tough task, but one I believe I can do.
Now, obviously, Lopez had to come over here as the challenger to face Josh. Would he have to come over here to defend his title against you in Northern Ireland, or would you be willing to challenge him over in the States? Where would things stand on that front?
I don't know. It's top rank is promotes both of us, so wherever they feel the fight should go, it will go. I know that we could do mad numbers both sides of the Atlantic. We could do big numbers in New York and crazy numbers in Belfast. So it just depends, man. I'm unsure where it will be. I'm sure that's part of the talks at the minute.
When would you like to know for sure if that will be your next fight?
As soon as possible. As soon as possible. Yeah.
So Mick, just on that front, obviously sticking with your division, another name which you've been linked with, you fought before, is Mr. Leigh Wood. He was recently upgraded to the full champion by the WBA after Leo Santa Cruz opted
Yeah.
against fighting him. If you had the choice, Michael, would you rather Leigh for that full version of the title now, or Luis Alberto Lopez potentially beat him and then come in for a unification with Leigh?
I'd rather leave right away. I would rather leave right away. That's the fight which I'm desperate for. I really want. And I believe Lee would take it, as I've recently spoke about and shared a clip of Eddie throwing Prairie Ben Davis under the bus, saying that he didn't want to give it because of how he behaved in the build up of the last one. But yeah, it's a great fight. Fight of the year contender, probably going to be fight of the year. And one I lost, and one that will sit with me for a long time. Until I kind of rewrite that wrong.
Are you confident next year we could see the pair of you come together again, especially like I say if it is Lopez next for you, if he's able to come through what seems to be Mauricio Lara early next year, it becomes an even bigger fight than what the first one was.
Yeah, it's a big if though. That's a big if. Because we both have tough tasks in front of us. Um, I don't understand the Lara fight for him. There's probably more money in a fight against me, and probably in a sense less risk because he beat me already. So like I don't understand this. It's crazy, but I hope he beats him. Do I believe he does? No, I don't. I really don't think he beats Lara. I don't know if Leigh will be the same kind of fighter he was since our fight. He still hasn't fought. I've had two fights, so I've shown I'm still who I am, and still kind of trying to get to where I need to. But well, he's been sitting on the shelf, um, probably still recovering from the Nottingham fight, and please God, he comes through. Lara wins, and I come through. Whatever opponent I'm facing on St Patrick's Day or that weekend, and we can face in the summer. But whether it happens or not, I don't know. I would love it to, but I don't. I don't know. I can't really see it from here.
How much of a surprise is it to you, Mick, that he's opted to pursue the fight with Maurizio Lara ahead of anybody else? Because, like you say, there is a great deal of risk involved with Maurizio.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's more like with Lara for him. If you're looking at like from a fighter standpoint, fantastic. No, that's takes a lot of balls and stuff, and gets loads of credit for that. But if you're looking at it from a business standpoint, it's crazy. It's like risk versus reward is not worth it. What does he get from beating Mauricio Lara? He doesn't. It's not like it's a big money fight for him. It's not like it's he doesn't win any more belts. He gets great credit, yes, but in a business sense, it doesn't really make sense.
The other name involved in amongst you all is that of Josh Warrington. Now, despite him not holding a title, Mick, could you entertain a potential fight with him still?
100%, 100%. Josh, great fighter, great fan base, and I have a great fan base. So those two fan bases come together. We could do a big fight somewhere. In the MEN or something in Manchester, and that would be fantastic. So yeah, I'd be open to that too.
Mick, just away from yourself, you saw your campmate Josh Kelly recently come back and
Yeah,
defeat Troy Williamson. Heading into that fight, there were a lot of question marks surrounding Josh. People saying how much does he have left, what desire does he have, and he showed on the night that he can still produce at the highest level.
yeah, yeah. Listen, I think that he proved a lot of people wrong in that fight. Showed what we see every day in the gym, how talented he is, how skillful he is, and just went in and he schooled Troy. And I like Troy too. Like he's a nice guy, but there really is levels in boxing, and Josh showed a lot of levels. I think over since the Albanesian loss, he's came through a lot and had to deal with a lot. In and out of the ring mentally, he's kind of restructured himself and kind of put himself back in the picture. The fight I would love to see now is him versus Conor Benn whenever he comes back, if he's clean or whatever it is he's saying. That's the fight I would love to see now because that fight was muted, and then he lost to Avanesi, and Conor went on and sort of do what he does and was like, forget about Josh Kelly and all this. But I still stand by what I said at the start that Josh schools him, and after watching Josh the other night, it just proved to me that you know, Josh has all the ability in the world, and I think now he's in the right position to go and show it.
Obviously, I saw Josh's comments that he wants to try and reignite that rivalry once again with Connor on the back of his victory with Troy. Would Josh, in your opinion, would he be able to drop to 147 or would it have to be at 154 now?
154. I don't think he can do 147. And 154, I think is if Benn was going to fight it, 157 or one
Yep.
158 or whatever it was
157, yeah.
against Eubank, 154, one weight up from welterweight. It's not much. I would like to see it at that weight. I think Ben's he's big, strong, muscly guy, and I think him for him to make 154, he still have to be cut weight.
Right, Mick, we will leave it there now and leave you to enjoy the rest of your day. And of course, this festive period, enjoy Christmas, and I'll catch up with you again soon. Thanks for speaking to me in ID Boxing.
Cheers, mate. Merry Christmas. Take care.